looking here at the same numeracy assessment report that we looked at in the previous sections. This is the scatter plot that we've already done some analysis of. I'm going to look now, though, at the second part of the report, the question detail section of the report, and see if we can get any more information about the learner from this section of the report. Just like with the literacy report, we want to go through and look at the intent of the questions, particularly the questions that the learner got incorrect, and see if we can identify any trends or common themes in the questions that they struggled with. With the numeracy progression, I start with the number knowledge progressions first, because of that integral relationship between the number knowledge progressions and the number strategy progressions. The number knowledge supports the number strategies, so therefore if I find some gaps if I can identify the gaps in the number knowledge, that will tell me quite a bit already about the number strategies that the learner is likely to struggle with. So I'll go through here and look for the three number knowledge strategies are number sequence, number facts, and place value. So I'm looking for any questions that were around those progressions. So the first one I come to is number sequence. The learner got that one wrong, and that was about decimal lengths to 2 decimal places. Okay, so we got that one wrong. Coming down, the next knowledge one is number sequence, and this is again a decimal number, the difference between a decimal number and a whole number. Number facts progression here, and the learner got that one correct, and that was about division of a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. So that tells me that the learner has got some division facts, whole number division facts, and therefore multiplication facts. Place value progression here, and here are those decimal place values again, up to the hundredths and thousands. A couple of number facts questions here. Calculate a single-digit division problem. So again, know some multiplication facts in order to be able to do a division problem. Calculate the multiple of a number in the tens and a number in the hundreds. Now, when I looked at that question, I was unclear about what that intent meant. So when you're looking at a report within the tool, if you're looking at it online, what you can do is click on the question link here, and it will take you to give you some more information about the actual question was asked. So I've clicked on this link, and it takes me to this screen here. It tells me that the intent of the question and the correct responses still doesn't really give me enough information to figure out what that question was about. So if I click here on View Learner's Response, that will take me to the question itself as the learner saw it. And so we see here it was about buying a car, and the information is down here in the corner of the picture. Here is the learner's response, and no way of telling really how we got that response from that question. But I do now know that what the intent meant was that I'm multiplying something in the hundreds by something in the tens, and the learner got that wrong. So that's just a function that you can use if you're looking at these reports within the online tool environment. Okay, so then we've got a couple more place value questions down here, both of them correct. How many hundreds in 3,500, and divide a decimal number by 10. So that's something that the learner did get correct. The next knowledge strategy, place value. How many tens in a given number, and number facts down here. So tens in a given number, which is surprising since they were able to tell us about hundreds in a number on the earlier page. Basic subtraction facts, they've bombed out there. Okay, and the rest of these are strategies or part of the measurement progression. So again, looking for trends, common themes, and what's showing up here is where the learner is struggling is anything with decimal numbers in it, apart from this divided decimal number by 10 down here. Okay, so again, this might be one that I want to do a little further investigation on. If I click on the question in the online environment, it will take me to, that was the learner response. The reason I was wondering about this is because it surprised me, I guess, because the decimal, he missed quite a lot of the decimal numbers, and here we've got one that he got right. What I notice here is that this was a question that was meant to be done without a calculator. Do I know that he did it without a calculator, or maybe he does know how to divide 50 by 10? I guess the point here is don't read too much into any one question. We can only look for themes and trends across several questions. So going back up to the assessment questions, probably in this particular case, the next thing to do would be to go down and look at the strategies where the learner got the answer correct. I'm just going to change color here. Oops, on my felt pen. Color, try blue. And so these two measurement questions, correct? Okay, and so that's the difference between digital time and analog time. Use a benchmark to measure length. So depending on the context that I'm teaching in, if those are demands in the course, if there's measurement in the course, if there's switching between time, then I know some things now that the learner does know. So that's also useful information. Okay, there's a measurement, the one that was incorrect, that was converting from metric to imperial measure. So is that important in my course? I don't know. It depends on what the course is. If it's not, then it's not something that we need to worry about when we're thinking about embedding in our course. Okay, and then we've got quite a lot of incorrect. There's a multiplicative strategies, one correct down here. Select the percentage of given a two-digit whole number. And again, looking at, there's quite a lot of these measurement questions that the learner got correct. Select the common object most likely to have a given length in millimeters. So I've got an idea that the learner has done some measuring, has got a good sense of how big things are, big or small they are. So again, that's a positive thing to know about my learner, particularly if I've got measurement things in my course. All right. So overall, I know that this learner is got some misunderstandings or lack of understanding about decimal numbers. I know that he's able to do some large whole number arithmetic, addition and multiplication, and he's got some basic facts, but single-digit basic facts. So I've got some idea where I can start working with this learner just by going through and looking at the intent of those questions.